Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Little's Lab. My name is Kim. I'm a community learning specialist with Do Space, and I'm coming at you from home today. So my background might be a little bit different, but it's that kind of year, isn't it? That our changing backgrounds just kind of happen, don't they? Well, we are still going to be doing a lot of fun things this month. So this month we are going to be talking about some toys, but not just any kind of toys. Do you like toys? I bet you do. Do you have a lot of toys at home? I bet you do. But we're not going to talk about just any kind of toys. And just like we are going to be kind of learning about some toys that teach us how to the very, very beginnings of how to code. And what does that mean, how to code? Or what is coding? Have you ever heard of that before? What does that mean to you? Well, if you are watching me from a computer, or maybe from a tablet like an iPad, or maybe from a very smartphone. Those are all computers. And basically, those are all created what's called code. And we wouldn't be able to do this, what we're doing right now, without our computers and without this special language that is code that is written. It's kind of like how I bet you and we speak English. Well, computers, they know a language too. They know a different language. It's called computer code. And so if you know how to write that language, then you can make programs like Zoom that we're coming at you with, or fun computer games, or like play with different toys that teach us different things. And so, yeah. So there is a lot of cool things. So if you are liking kind of that kind of stuff, though, the people that make that know that language, they're called software engineers. Is a fancy word, isn't it? Software engineers. They build and they write code. And so today we're going to be kind of learning how that works a little bit by learning about an if-then statement. I know this is like, oh my gosh, what is this? But we're going to be reading a story about if-then statements that help us, and we're going to be playing a game where I'm going to be the programmer. So people that another name for people that make fun, that know the language of code, are called programmers. I'm going to be the programmer and you guys are going to be my computers, and we're going to play a game where I'm a programmer and you're I think my headset went out a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to be showing you a really fun toy called a Puzzlet, where it's a game. It's like they have it's a lot of fun. I'll show you it when we get to it. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today. But before we get started, I think we should look at our calendar, because our calendar is so important for us to learn about our days of the week and what's going on this month, because there's some fun things going on, because we are at the very beginning of a new month, aren't we? Maybe you knew that, maybe you didn't. But let's take a look at our calendar and we can see what our month is going to bring us. So let me get to the right one. Just a second. I want this. Here we go. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so it doesn't look like a calendar, does it? It doesn't quite look like a calendar. Well, we're going to be doing a little bit of that game. So I'm going to so maybe you've joined us before when I've told you to touch your nose and to move something on. So this is what we're going to do. If I touch my nose, I want you to touch your nose. Can you do that? Can you do, if I touch my nose, you touch your nose? Okay, let's try it. Did you touch your nose? Perfect. So if you touch your nose, our screen is going to change. So let's try it. Okay. Did you touch your nose and did the screen change? Nice. Perfect. So you should see the name of we're in a brand new month. Like I said, we are in a brand new month. And so this is the name of the month that we're in. And the month that we're in starts with this letter. and it makes the da sound. What letter makes the da sound? Do you know what letter makes the da sound? Is it our letter D? Yeah, it's our letter D. So our letter D is the very first letter for our December. So our month we are in is called December. We are in December, and then this is our year. It is 2020, which is 2020. So we are in 2020. Okay, we're going to see if our screen changes again. If I touch my nose, then you touch your nose, and if you touch your nose, the screen changes. Perfect. So this looks more like a calendar, doesn't it? Yeah, this looks like our calendar. So you should see our day, our month, our December, and our year, our 2020. And then under that are our 7 days of the week. And can we say our 7 days of the week all together? Let's say them all together. And you say them with the people that you're with, and I'm going to say them with you. So let's start with Sunday. So there's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Great job. And then do you know what today's day of the week is? What's today's day of the week? It comes after Monday, before Wednesday, and it starts with our letter T. It is Tuesday. That is right. Today is Tuesday. So I'm going to click our Tuesday. So today is Tuesday. These are all of our Tuesdays in our month of December. And then what's this number? What number is this? It's our number 1. That's right. It's our number 1. And it's our number 1 because it's our very first day of December. We are doing Littles Lab on the very first day of December. So happy December, friends. And this is our year 2020. Okay, so let's do it again. I'm going to touch my nose. What do? You touch your nose, and if you touch your nose, our screen changes a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, so I need to put our Tuesday where it needs to go in our days of the week. I need to put our 1 or our first day of December. And then we are going to touch our nose again. If I touch my nose, you touch your nose. And if you touch your nose, then our screen changes. Excellent. And so, yeah, our calendar, because we're in a new month, we have some new fun days going on in our month. So we have our tiny little pictures or icons that show us new days or fun days we have going on. So let's go over those days really quickly. So our first one is on Thursday, December 10th, and that is going to be the first day of Hanukkah. So Hanukkah is a holiday celebrated by people in the Jewish community. And so there are 7 days of Hanukkah, or 8 days of Hanukkah. There are 8 days of Hanukkah. Yes, 8 days of Hanukkah. Yes, I think that's correct. And every day a candle is lit on those 8 days of Hanukkah, and every day you might give or receive a little gifty for your days of Hanukkah. So that's on Thursday, and it starts on the 10th, Thursday, December 10th. Our next fun day is on Monday, December 21st, and it is, look at our tree. We have a really bare tree, don't we? And that means our tree, it's a winter tree, right? And that is because it's the winter solstice, or it's our first day of winter. So right now, that's our first day of the season of winter. So what season are we in right now? We kind of talked about this back in October. If you joined us in October, or maybe in September, if you were joining us in September, we went and last month and in November we were talking about our seasons, weren't we? We talked about how we have our 4 seasons, right? We have spring, summer, winter, or fall and winter. And what season are we in right now? Are we in the winter? Or I keep getting my tongue-tied. Are we in the season of fall? We are. Right now we are in the season of fall. It kind of doesn't feel like fall outside. It is cold and blustery outside if you're joining us from the Nebraska area. But we will not officially be in winter until Monday, December 21st. So between now and then, it might snow and it might feel really cold and wintry outside, but it will not be officially winter until the 21st. And then our next fun day is on Friday, December 25th. And what day is this? What does this look like? What's this little picture? Can you see? It's a Christmas tree. That's right. It's a Christmas tree because that is our Christmas day. So we will be celebrating Christmas. People will be celebrating Christmas on Friday, December 25th. And you might give and receive gifties that day that are presents under our tree. And Santa will come on Christmas Eve and throughout the night to give presents. Oh my goodness. And I heard recently that Santa is immune to COVID. So he's definitely going to be able to come to all of our houses and he will be safe because that's so important, right? To be safe. Absolutely. But Santa, he's going to be safe when he visits our homes and eats those cookies and drinks those milk, right? Absolutely. And then our next day is on Saturday, December 26th. And there's actually two holidays on this day. There's a on Saturday, December 26th, there's a day called Boxing Day. And we don't really celebrate Boxing Day in the United States. If you're joining us from the United States, we don't celebrate it in our day, but it is a holiday that is celebrated in a country called the United Kingdom, and sometimes in the country above us called Canada and Australia. And some other countries around the world. And I looked up why it's called Boxing Day. There's a long, complicated history, so I'm not going to get into it right now. If you are interested, maybe that's something you and your grown-up can look into. But the reason why it's called Boxing Day is from a long, long time ago, so we won't get into it. We'll just say it's a day that's celebrated the day after Christmas in some countries. And then it's also a day that Kwanzaa begins. And Kwanzaa is a holiday that is celebrated by people in the African American community. And it's celebrated from December 26th to January 1st. And it's a day that people in the African American community, they celebrate African culture and unity, and they have a feast, and it's a fun week of celebration. So let's see, do you celebrate Hanukkah? Do you celebrate Kwanzaa? Do you celebrate Christmas? Tell me which ones you celebrate. I celebrate Christmas. So that's a holiday. And then obviously we all celebrate the first day of winter, right? Because no matter what we celebrate, for everybody, the first day of winter is going to be the same. My headset keeps turning off, but I need it. So because we're going to be doing a fun activity and I'm going to be away from my computer, so I want to make sure you can hear me. So that's why I have this crazy headset on. Okay. So friends, thank you for joining me. Oh, really quickly, I need to talk about maybe the most important thing about our calendar, birthdays, because I have a birthday and you have a birthday, but I'm looking for friends that have a birthday in our month of December. Do you have a birthday in your month of December? If you're joining us in Zoom, let me know in the chat if you have a birthday and we'll put a piece of cake on that birthday. We'll put a birthday cake on your birthday day. Let me know. I'm not seeing any, and that's okay because not everybody has a birthday in the month that we're in, right? So I'm going to put a piece of cake. I'm going to put a piece of cake maybe on the first day of winter because I feel like if it might be snowy and cold and it's so nice to have a warm piece of cake. Okay, excellent. Well, friends, we are going to move on and we're going to read a story. And it is called Gabby's If Then Garden. And this is going to help us learn about what if then statements are. And we kind of talked about them. This is part of the language that computers use. So just like how maybe you're learning your letters and learning words, right? And maybe you're even kind of learning how to spell different things. Maybe you're learning how to spell your name or something like that. Someday you'll be able to write sentences, right? Like when you look at books, our books have sentences. And we learn how to read those sentences. Well, computers do the same. Computers have to learn how to read sentences too. And there's a special one called an if then. And so we're going to learn about how that works by planting a garden. Let's find out how these sentences work and how maybe computers use them and how we could use them in our everyday life. Let's find out. So Gabby's if then garden. So we are going to meet our coding creatives. This is Addie. Addie likes arts and crafts, and she spends most of her time coloring, playing music, and making things. Whenever she sees something new, she wonders how it can come to be. She likes to say, I wonder. Do you like to do anything that Addie likes to do? Do you like to color? Do you like to make music? So this is Gabby, and Gabby loves to read, and she loves to play outside, and she likes to take care of her dog Charlie. She's always curious about how things work. Whenever she sees something that needs fixing, she tries to find the best way to improve it. She often says, "What if?" Have you ever thought, "I wonder" about something, or have you ever thought, "What if?" Let's see. Addie and Gabby, they make a great team. Let's see how they make a great team. So every spring, one of our seasons, right? Every spring, the girls help their parents plant a garden. And they prepare the soil, they choose which plants they'll grow, and they plant seeds. So if the weather is dry, then they water the plants. And if it rains, then they don't have to water the plants. And if weeds start to grow, then they pull them from the garden. And if a rabbit starts to eat the plants, they must start over. So so when making their garden, they have to use a lot of if then, because if it's dry outside, then they need a water. But maybe it's rain that day. Do they need a water if they've already been watered by the rain? No. So if it rains, then they don't water the plants. So maybe it's what's something that you can think of maybe? Maybe if let's think. Maybe if it's hot it's outside, you can wear shorts, but if it's cold outside, you need to wear pants, long pants. That's a good if then statement. Can you think of one? Let's see. Let's see what other kind of if then statements we have. Today, Addie and Gabby are playing in Gabby's backyard. And my mom said we could pick tomatoes, Gabby said. Red tomatoes are ripe and green ones are not ripe yet. So if a tomato is red, then we can put it in the basket. But if the tomato is green, like this one, then it needs to stay on the vine. So what do they do with the red ones? They go in the basket. And what do they do with the green ones? Then they don't put them in the basket. They keep them on the vine. So that's that if then statement. We can water the plants, Addie says. Sure, says Gabby. If we turn this knob right here, then water will come out of the hose. And if we move the umbrella, then the plants will get some sun, Addie says. So this is the spigot that is connected to our hose, right? So if you turn the wheel, water will come down the hose. What if you don't turn the wheel? Then it won't come out, right? That gives Addie an idea. Let's play an if-then game. Only if you tell me what it is, says Addie, giggling. Okay, so it's like Simon Says, Gabby explains. But instead of Simon, the leader is called a programmer. Does this sound familiar? And the follower is called a computer. The programmer, do you remember what a programmer is? It's somebody who writes that language, right? A programmer gives commands or instructions because that's all it is, right? It's just instructions. And the commands are how a computer knows what to do. Like if the programmer says boop, then the computer needs to say beep. So boop, Gabby shouts. Beep, Addie shouts. Boop, Gabby whispers. Beep, Addie whispers. Bonk, Gabby says. Addie puts her hand over her mouth and shakes her head. I can't say it, she says. because that wasn't the command. That wasn't the instructions, was it? Because she said boink. Was she supposed to do anything if she says boink? Nope. Oh, good job following the commands or the instructions, computer, Gabby says. Now it's your turn to be the programmer. Okay, says Addie. If the programmer does a jumping jack, then the computer does a cartwheel. Addie does a jumping jack and Gabby does a cartwheel. Addie does another jumping jack, but this time Gabby doesn't do a cartwheel. Computer, what's wrong? Addie says. We have a bug in the code. What do you think that means? If there's a bug in the code. Oh, do you think that means there might be a mistake in the code? Maybe there sometimes, yeah, maybe like, sometimes if you're learning how to spell your name, you may not spell it correctly, or you may write the letter not quite the right way, and that might make a bug that's just like a mistake. And it's okay to make mistakes, right? And you can always fix them. So that's what it means if there's a bug in code. It just means that there's a little mistake that you need to fix. So Gabby says to fix it, the programmer has to ask the computer questions. Says Addie. Are you hurt? Does she look hurt? Gabby shakes her head. No. Are you tired? Asks Addie. Does she look tired? Gabby shakes her head again. She holds up her hands and gives Addie a hint. Oh, Addie, says Addie. Gabby's hands are covered with smashed tomatoes. Are you dirty? Gabby nods her head yes and waves her messy hands in the air. I wheeled right on top of the tomatoes. Oh my goodness. So she had dirty hands. She couldn't keep doing cartwheels. And what's their dog Charlie doing? He's licking up all that tomato mush. What a good dog Charlie is. Addie and Charlie help Gabby clean up. Okay, let's try it again, Addie says. She does a jumping jack, and Gabby does a cartwheel. The computer is working again. Gabby cheers. The programmer debugged the code with Charlie's help. So debugging the code means that they fixed it. They fixed their mistake. The if-then game was fun, Addie says. Now that's how computers know what to do, Gabby explains. A programmer just has to give it a command or special instructions. Just like in the garden, Addie says. Right, Gabby agrees. And Gabby and Addie are tired after a fun day in the garden. Gabby says, if your mom says it's all right, then you can come back tomorrow. And Addie says, if you give me some of those yummy pears, then my dad will make a pear tart to share for you tomorrow. Okay, Gabby says. We make a good team. Oh my goodness. So yeah. So I forgot to mention that code is also like special instructions. It's special directions. Have you ever had to follow directions before? Has maybe your grown-up ever said, oh, please go to your room, open the drawer, pick out a pair of socks, put on your socks, walk to your closet, pick out a pair of shoes, put on your shoes, and come back to me? Has your grown-up or somebody ever asked you to do something like that? Maybe not that specific, right? They might say, go put on some socks and shoes and come back. Well, with computer language, with that special language that programmers or software engineers have to learn so that computers can understand them, they have to give very specific instructions, just like that. And if you skip one instruction, you might have a bug or a mistake and your program might not work. Maybe have you ever helped make a recipe? Like maybe have you ever helped make some cookies or brownies? You have to follow a recipe, right? And then there's instructions on how to make it. And if you don't follow those instructions well enough, you might come out with some burnt cookies or maybe some dry brownies, which nobody likes dry brownies or burnt cookies. So you have to follow those instructions, right? So it's kind of the same. So this is what we're going to do, friends. We are going to play this game just like Addie and Gabby did. We're going to play our if-then game. And like they said, it's kind of like Simon Says. So I'm going to be the programmer and you guys are going to be the computer. So I'm going to get up really quickly from my chair and hopefully you can see me. I might put this down a little bit so that you can see. Oh, it's hard to tell. We'll do this. Hopefully this light doesn't get too crazy. I'll stand right here so my head's right in front of the light. Okay, so remember, it's kind of like someone says, if I do something, I'm going to say, we'll maybe practice. Should we practice with how Gabby and Addie did it? So if I say boop, you say beep. Boop. Did you say beep? Oh, perfect. But I'm going to say boink. Did you say beep? No, right? Because I didn't say boop. So how about this? If I clap my hands once, then you clap your hands twice. Okay, let's try it. If I clap my hands once, then did you clap your hands twice? Perfect. Okay, if I jump up and down, so if I jump up and down, then you touch your toes like this. You can't really see me, but you touch your toes. Okay, so if then did you touch your toes? Perfect. Good job, computers. Okay, let's see if you can do one more command. Let's think. If I put my arms up like this, then I want you to turn around like this. Okay, can you do that? Okay, so if I put my arms like this, then are you twirling around? Great job, yeah, good job. So that's a very basic way of like somehow in some ways computers work. And unless there's a lot more to it, but those are some simple ways how we can get computers to work. So this is what we're going to do next. We are going to play with a really fun toy called Puzzlets. And I need to make sure my audio is still working. It is. Perfect. Okay. So we are going to be playing, and I'm realizing I didn't do something I needed to do before. So let me really quickly. So we're going to play with a game called Puzzlets, just like this. And I have an app. I have a game app, and then we have this really cool board, just like this. And we are going to put in special little tiles in this board, just like this. And it's going to tell we have a little dinosaur named, I forgot what the dinosaur is actually named. I should have looked that up. And then it's going to tell our little dinosaur on our app what to do. So I forgot to do a really important step, friends. So just a second. Let me get logged into Zoom on my tablet so you can see how this game is played. One moment. And this is a tech kit that we have at DoSpace. And I know we're not checking out tech kits anymore. Hopefully someday soon we will. And you could play with this, or it's just really fun to do. Maybe if you like it, it might be a fun holiday gift. Okay, I would like to make a promote to panelist. There we go. We're going to get this, friends, I promise. Okay, I would like to share my screen. There we go. Oh, perfect. Okay. Let me get things set up, friends. I know, I'm so bad. I should have done this beforehand. Okay, I'm gonna talk really loudly so you can hear me over my music, because I think you might be able to hear the music. Okay, so let's see if I can also get my camera going. Let's see. Sorry about this, friends. Well, there we go. This is what I want. Okay, so this is my little playboard, right? And so I'm gonna tap where it tells me to tap. And I'm going to clear the play tray. And I want to tell our Dino friend that what to do by placing different tiles on our board. So I have all these different tiles, and I'm going to find the one that I see on the board. And I'm looking for a blue one. There we go. That looks like this. I'm looking for a blue one that looks like this. So I'm going to put it. So if I put the right tile on, then my screen changes. So now if I touch in the corner, look at that! I moved to the right. So let's try one more. Let's see what we need to do next. I was touching my computer instead of my tablet. Let's see what we learned to do next. Okay, I need to clear my tray, and I need to find a tile that looks like the one I see, which I thought I had one out, and I'm realizing I didn't. I need to find one that looks like this. So let's see. If I put this in the tray, I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go to the left. I moved to the left. So if I put the right tile in, then my dinosaur friend moves the correct way. Okay. Let's see what else we can do. Okay, so we are going to maybe play this level 1. I keep touching the computer screen and not the tablet screen. Okay, so I need to get to that golden puzzle piece, don't I? So I think I need to go right. How many water drops do we see? Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to start with 3 of these. Let's see if I can find 3. Oh my goodness, maybe. There we go. I have 3 of these. So I have 1, 2, 3. Let's see if that is what I need. I did it! I was able to get all the water drops and get to the golden puzzle piece. Nice. So Fred, now I'm going to clear my board. So obviously there are a lot of different puzzles. Basically, a lot of times games like this are like puzzles. You have to problem solve. You have to figure out the right solution. And it's so good for problem solving and critical thinking. So this is called Puzzlet. And the game is called Cork the Volcano, which is a lot of fun. So if you're interested in this is, again, a really fun toy that hopefully someday you'll be able to play again at Do Space, or it might be a really great something that if your kids seem interested, it's a good holiday gift. It helps with, problem solving, beginner coding, all sorts of fun things. And, there's a really fun story with a little dino. There's also a little hedgehog. And then there's also a little sloth. Are so much fun. Okay. Well, friends, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go back to me and say, we are at the end of our Littles Lab time. So friends, thank you so much for joining me for Littles Lab today. We are going to be, I'm going to be kind of showcasing other fun coding toys that are age appropriate for our littles, and some different things, all for the next two uh, Tuesdays. So we'll be off the week of Christmas. So the last Tuesday of December, we will not have Littles Lab. But if you're also interested, we're doing some really fun take and makes here with Do Space. So keep an eye out for, or I think even if you go onto our calendar and you look for take and makes and click on them, I think our forms might be even available that you can sign up to get little kits. And then we are going to be different staff for Do Space is going to be showing you how to put them together. So they're going to be a lot of fun. So we're making buzzy snowmen, a kinetic moving snowflake, a pin that looks like a reindeer, so many fun things. So keep an eye out for that, or and I don't remember the days off the top of my head, but if you go to our calendar at dospace.org and you look for take and makes throughout December and you click on those, then I believe the forms are up. So if you fill out those forms, you can sign up for however many you need, up to 5, and then we'll have kits all ready for go. You'll come and pick them up at Do Space, and then on the appropriate day, we'll be showing you how to put them all together, and they're a lot of fun. So friends, thank you so much for joining me for Little Lab today. And we will be doing kind of learning about some other coding toys and fun coding things next week. So hopefully you can join us next week. Have a good rest of your day and have a good Tuesday. Bye-bye.